Alright folks, we're back. Let's start case 47 in South America region. Thanks to Frederick, Ali, and Daniela. Cheaters never win. Alright. Matthew, as you know, Uruguay has sent a team of athletes to compete in the Olympics for the first time. It's our top priority to be here in Rio and make sure the games go as planned. Considering Sombra used to have a strong hold on the Uruguayan government, a Uruguayan team in the Olympics is troubling. Sombra doesn't seem to have much influence on their government anymore. They've held elections and have elected a leader. However, despite never having qualified for the Olympics before, the Uruguayans suddenly have athletes that break every world record. That sounds like Sombra's next level program. The Olympics made for an excellent world stage. If Sombra's up to something here, it could have global ramifications. Which is why we're here. We must keep an eye on the Uruguayan athletes and be on the lookout for any suspicious behavior. We've been asked to help ensure the peace and patrol the famous Copacabana beach area where the Olympic festivities are taking place. Those festivities will attract thousands of people. If Sombra's going to strike, it'd be there. The best place to start is at Copacabana Beach. At the slightest sign of Sombra's involvement, we intervene. Early morning is a good time to get a feel for the place without the crowds getting in the way. Matthew, we're heading to Copacabana Beach. Let the games begin. I decided to hold off on cases, on elite mode cases for the time being, but the next one I do will be in Grimsboro. Oh no. Victim's body. Cigar, pinata, tutu, card, congratulatory card. Oh. Hey. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Thank you. I believe that you met briefly last time I was here. If I remember correctly, you had just bought the Santiago.
Matthew, looks like one heck of a party roll through here. Unfortunately, a deadly one. And with that syringe sticking out of his neck, this isn't parade roadkill, this is murder. The victim's wearing a badge. It says his name is Oscar Rojas. Matthew, you're right, he's from Uruguay. It's one of their Olympic athletes. Keen observation. The victim has yellow eyes, and we know what yellow eyes mean. That means our victim was Sombra. Our fears are justified. Sombra's been controlling the Uruguayan athletes. But that doesn't explain why one of their Sombra-trained athletes is dead. If we want to close this case, we must do our due diligence, Matthew. What do we have? That broken necklace near the victim looks like it was ripped off. And since there aren't any traces around the victim's neck, this necklace is most likely the killer's. Let's put it back together. That card is addressed to our victim from the Olympics Committee, congratulating him on his win. Looks like someone wrote a message inside the card. Inside the card. A good dusting will give us the verdict. Matthew, we were right to come to Rio. Sombra's up to something, and finding the killer of their athlete may tell us exactly what. Okay, it is time for me to start the autopsy with Grace, and I'll see you guys for that, but I'm going to get some stars first. Okay, I have 6 stars. I think I'll take the broken charm first. Ogum. Matthew, that necklace charm you put together looks like a homemade trinket. There's a message written on the back, but it's in Portuguese. Unfortunately, my Portuguese is a bit rusty. Excellent point. We do know someone who is well versed in many languages, Dupont. Let's get this necklace over to him. 3 hours. Faded message. A congratulations message. Matthew, the handwritten note inside the card reads, "Bravo, Oscar. You've made your country proud. Keep up the outstanding work." Someone was proud of our victim's accomplishments, and that someone is Hector Montoya. It says here Hector Montoya is the Olympic Goodwill Ambassador for South America. Regardless of who he is, we better have a word with Mr. Montoya. Got his congratulations note to the victim. Mr. Montoya, we'd like to talk to you about Oscar Rojas. Hello and welcome to Rio, Marshal Matthew. I hope you're enjoying your time here. We were until we found one of the athletes dead. Excuse me, Querida, I must go. I'll see you later. I heard about Rojas' death. What a grand shame for Uruguay and for the Olympics. We know you had contact with Oscar. We found the note you wrote him. Why the personal message? Every winning athlete receives a congratulatory card. Since I'm the South American Goodwill Ambassador, I wanted to hand the card to him personally. And when was that, Mr. Montoya? I just saw Oscar yesterday, before the parade. He was at Olympic Stadium signing autographs. Matthew, if Olympic Stadium was the last place Oscar was seen before he was murdered, we need to go there. Marshal Matthew, try not to blame Brazil or the Olympics for this tragic event. Duly noted.
Is there anything that I can do?
Let me try to go for the first star. Cell phone, bell, dumbbell, and a backpack, training bag. Well, despite that, I still got the first star. That is good news. Matthew, that training bag has our victim's name on it. That gives us enough probable cause to warrant a search. You grabbed a cell phone? We're the experts at finding those, but they do lead to convictions, so let's unlock it. And we will. But I need to get some more stars, so sit tight. Alright, I got myself up to 9 stars. Let's examine the training bag right now. A stopwatch. That's a nice stopwatch you found in our victim's sports bag, Matthew. The engraving on the back refers to a coach Yamil Albarrán. It's a gift from the Uruguayan government. Mr. Alboran must have been Oscar's coach. Hopefully he can give us more information about Sombra's continued involvement in Luzagway. He looks like he's been beat up. Mr. Alboran, we're investigating the murder of Oscar Rojas. You were his coach, correct? I am. Was. He was so dedicated. He had such a great future. Why would anyone want him dead? Success breeds enemies. But more importantly, Mr. Alboran, we want to know about Oscar's connection to Sombra. His yellow eyes gave him away. Yellow eyes? What yellow eyes? Oscar had brown eyes. So you don't know anything about the yellow eyes or Sombra's involvement with the Olympics team? Sombra? I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is the country sponsored an intensive training camp in Indonesia. I couldn't go due to a personal matter, but when the team returned, they were better than ever. The team sent away to train in a foreign country and they returned as unstoppable warriors? We've seen that before. No further questions, Mr. Alboran, but please don't go far. We'll need you for cross-examination. Matthew, Oscar's coach claims he doesn't know what Sombra is. Regardless, the team is definitely Sombra. The question is, who'd want a Sombra enhanced athlete dead? We've got to figure out the end game, and fast. BD, XHN, AF2, state, oh well. Matthew, is that Oscar in the selfie photo? He's with some tall woman. The Olympic filter on the photo is obstructing the woman's face. Let's run the photo through the database. Examine the unknown woman. Oh no! AIDS also. Olga Shizova. The Bureau's database gave us the information on our mystery woman in the photo with our victim. It's one Olga Shizova, a Russian shot putter. Shot put? What's that? Regardless, the case of the mysterious tall woman is closed. Matthew, let's talk to Miss Shizova. Of course, the shot put is where you throw this weighty ball into sand. About her relationship with the victim? Mr. Shizova, Miss Shizova, we'd like to talk to you about the murder of Oscar Rojas. We know you were friends. We found the photo of you two together. Oscar and I were more than friends. We were lovers. Lovers? How long have you known him? Since the opening ceremony. Our eyes met from across the stadium. It was love at first hand wave. I've been warned against Olympic relationships, but ours was a beautiful romance. The shot putter and the runner, like a storybook. Miss Shizova, do us a favor and keep that book open. I'm sure Marshal Matthew will have more questions for you later. You can bet we will. And I will see you guys when the shell charm and the autopsy are finished. I'll see y'all for that. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the autopsy from Grace. Hi Matthew. It's so tragic what happened to Oscar, a rising star who fell too quickly. Unfortunately, there's a good chance his stardom was due to Sombra. What can you tell us about him? The autopsy revealed Mr. Rojas died of a lethal dose of the Banisteriopsis caapi vine and the P. viridis leaf mixed with the often dangerous Brugmansia. In English, please, Miss Delaney? Sorry, I got carried away. Your victim was killed by a combination of ayahuasca mixed with Brugmansia. Ayahuasca? Isn't that the hallucinogenic drug from the Amazon? Vines and leaves. I didn't think that could kill anyone. Deaths under the influence of ayahuasca are rare. However, when the hallucinogen is mixed with Brugmansia, it can make one deadly mix. The drug combination in that syringe is what killed him. So our victim was doped to death by plants? That's not all. The victim's legs are bruised in the lower region, suggesting the victim was first knocked to the ground by a swift kick and hook of the legs. In studying the bruise patterns, I found this to be consistent with the negativa derrubando move in capoeira, the Brazilian martial art. My observation is your killer knows capoeira. Mouthy, the killer will be kicking themselves once you bring them to trial for murder. Boy, those were mouthfuls. Shell charm? Bon dia, Matthew. What an interesting specimen you've brought me. Interesting? This necklace looks like something a kid made. Not at all. What you have here is an important object of Brazilian ritual work. This is a patois, a talisman used for invoking a variety of requests from the different orixás, or gods of the various Afro-Brazilian religions. Matthew, this patois is red with the word Ogum stitched on the front. Ogum's known in Brazil as the god of war. The god of war? That's quite a statement for a piece of jewelry. Even more of a statement is the message written on the back. Translated, it means, Ogum Mish fought and killed the dragon. All hail Ogum. To clarify, the person who wore this necklace is the slayer of the dragon, and the dragon is Oscar. Donning the patois psychologically reassures the person wearing it by its presence. This means your killer of dragons is superstitious. No amulet will be strong enough to keep Matthew's investigative prowess away from arresting our killer. Matthew, we came to Brazil on a hunch Sombra is somehow involved in the Olympics, and we were right. In hunting for Sombra, we found Oscar Rojas, a Lusaguayan athlete, murdered by a lethal concoction of hallucinogenic drugs. We know Lusaguay's athletes are Sombra enhanced. We need to find out how Oscar's death fits into all of this. Let's see what the first round of discovery has brought us. There's Mr. Albaran, our victim's coach. He swears he knows nothing about our victim being Sombra, but I find that hard to believe. Then there's Miss Chizova, a Russian shot putter and apparently our victim's lover. Their romance could be a tall tale, and she's a tall one. I'm sure we'll... Hey Matthew, your victim is Oscar Rojas, right? Yes, why do you ask? Because your victim's on TV causing a scene at a local bar. What? Oh my gosh. We'll have to find out what's going on in Chapter 2. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start Chapter 2 of Cheaters Never Win. Matthew, we came to Brazil on a hunch Sombra is somehow involved in the Olympics, and we were right. In hunting for Sombra, we found Oscar Rojas, a Lusaguayan athlete, murdered by a lethal concoction of hallucinogenic drugs. We know Lusaguay's athletes are Sombra enhanced. We need to find out how Oscar's death fits into all of this. Hey Matthew, your victim is Oscar Rojas, right? Yes, why do you ask? Because your victim's on TV causing a scene at a local bar. What? But he's dead. Matthew, we've got to watch this. Shocking new footage reveals the enraged rampage of the Olympic newcomer Oscar Rojas just hours before he was found brutally murdered. I don't need you. I don't need any of you. I'm a star. The world will know my name, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. Get that camera out of my face. Matthew, that was quite an outburst. What do you think that was about? Whatever it is, Matthew, if he was at the bar, that's where we need to go next. Let me make a quick change first.
Welcome back. Check this out. The SpaceX rocket exploded, and it's taken out the launch pad this morning. Intense firing at the Space Launch Complex 40. SpaceX uses the pad to send satellites and rockets that carry supplies to the International Space Station. Thankfully, no injuries, but blast destroyed a rocket. A satellite commissioned by Facebook, which was due to launch on Saturday.
All right, students in Oregon are getting safety tips from a famous furry giant.
Yeah, and I'll test it. It's a surprise from the Florida State
Okay.
during a rocket explosion.
Dog,
Everyone's seen that famous
cactus,
believed to be Bigfoot.
cocktail, bowl.
Notice how carefully he's walking. Turns out Sasquatch is a stickler for safety, and he's teamed up with the Oregon DOT to teach elementary students about crosswalk safety. It's also one of the DOT videos starring the Quatch that will give kids guidance, and let's face it, probably some nightmares. From weird crosswalks to just plain lewd crosswalks, authorities in Houston are searching for vandals who managed to turn the simple "Don't Walk" sign into an obscene gesture.
Matthew, maybe one of those clues you found will shed light on Oscar's fight. You want to put together that torn newsletter? I'll get the tape. Do you really think that clay bowl's a lead? I'm not sure. There's hair in the bowl. Matthew, let's vacuum the hair to see what that's all about. Something's telling me that hair might be from a certain spot I can't mention.
It's just so awesome meeting Travis. And next week, I'm gonna have dinner with the whole FSU team.
It's true. Bo and his mom have been invited to dinner with the Seminoles. Take a look at this. I'm Jeremy.
Nice. Matthew, the cover photo of the newsletter is of Oscar crossing the finish line, but the runner behind him is struggling to arrive second. You're right. With the headline, "There Goes Brazil," that runner must be Brazilian. Indeed, the photo caption says, "Brazil's gold medal hopeful Edson Caetano loses to Olympic newcomer from Uruguay, Oscar Rojas." If Mr. Caetano lost to our victim, he might have wanted to eliminate the competition permanently. Let's talk to Edson.
We can see it impact the stage directly. So most of the models, the most reliable models, keeping it offshore, maybe 7,500 miles, maybe more than that. There's the models on the top there. But because of these models can shift, because it's not an exact science, vertical launches in effect.
About losing the gold to the victim.
So we're still then.
Mr. Caetano, we're investigating the murder of your competitor, Oscar Rojas. What do you know about him? Oh, meu Dieu. Oscar is dead. How is that possible? We just competed yesterday. That's why I always wear my lucky socks, to chase away the bad juju. Well, you did lose, and by quite a bit. I don't know if you can call that lucky. You must be relieved. I'm led to believe that with Mr. Rojas out of the picture, the 200 meters competition is yours for the taking. I'd never do that. I wasn't happy to lose to him, but Oscar didn't deserve to die. Everyone has a button to push, Mr. Caetano. Maybe that was yours. We have no further questions for you at this moment.
The med portion. Stay we die.
7 to 9, 10, 7.
Matthew, now that you've got the hair from the bull, let's send it to the lab.
Stir-fried honey, cinnamon, and cocoa to make these cereals tasty. And these eyes for awesome colors.
12 hours. Get the results. Get the results tomorrow. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. All right, folks. I'm under unlimited energy happy hour. Let's speed this up.
Started working for me. My neck was like that.
No wonder I'm craggy.
Hola, Matthew. I think I can muster up a knock-knock joke. Want to hear it?
Do you believe
Actually, Lars, we're in
Yes.
knock-knock.
Enough for next one.
Okay, who's there? Harris.
Speaking from the heart, enough for
Harris who? Oh, I know. The hair is in the bowl. The hair is in... Wait, you're not supposed to guess.
So, I'm going to hire an assistant.
Sorry, Lars. I'm not good with jokes. Anyway, what can you tell us about the hair we found in the bowl?
Must be faded.
The hair belongs to your victim. Why it was in the bowl, I have no idea. But it wasn't just the victim's DNA on the hair. There was somebody else's mixed in. Somebody by the name Janina de la Manja. Matthew, it's going to be a bad hair day for Miss de la Manja. Let's go question her.
I want you to know that Dad asked me to leave. He said he agreed with you. I don't get it. You two never agreed about anything before.
I guess we both agree that we love you.
About the
Because
bowl of
this,
hair?
I called the band and begged for my job back.
You got it? Michael,
Excuse me, ma'am. Are you Miss Janina de la Manja?
Look, I gotta
Sim, that's me. However, please call me May Janina.
Michael,
Okay,
I want you to
May Janina.
it was right.
We'd like to know why Marshall Matthew found a bowl of Oscar Rojas' hair with your DNA.
Well, I guess this
We're
is-
investigating his murder. Mr. Rojas approached me about the race to see if I could reveal if the spirits favored a positive outcome.
Can't get around to you.
I took some of his hair for the ritual.
It's not like it's my money. I took it from your purse.
What I saw was far from positive. There was danger in his future. Death.
The day you left me,
I tried warning Oscar, but he became angry, started yelling. Then he ran out of here saying he had to go back to the stadium. He left without paying.
things are between Michael and me.
Matthew, that answered the question of why our victim was angry in that TV report. Miss Janina, your testimony's been revelatory, but we're not done with you yet. Please stay close by for further questioning. And Matthew, if Janina said Oscar went back to the stadium, we better go back there to hunt for more clues.
Merry Christmas.
You guys really know how to do Christmas.
Okay. Let's see here. Trash bag. Gold medal. Video camera. Fourth already, great. Matthew, that video camera looks like something from the village gift shop. Maybe a spectator caught something on tape. Let's unlock it. That trash doesn't look appealing, but murder's grounds for searching it. And is that a gold medal? They're bigger than I thought. This medal's for the men's 100-meter race, and we know Oscar won that competition, so this medal must be his. But what's that white powder on it? Let's get a sample of that substance.
What's it say? What's it say?
Miami will be busy this weekend.
I'm gonna get the stars, so sit tight. I'm under unlimited energy happy hour anyway. Okay, I got all the stars. Let's examine the locked screen.
If you want to change your mind, there's still time to get to the funeral.
Daddy, come look at these old pictures. I think I must have been about 10 years old in this one. Big Daddy just taught me how to ride a horse.
QRW,
Quite a little porker back then, weren't you?
IDS,
I was a little chunky, that's all.
F38.
The
Phew!
horse's eyes are crossed.
Now that we've unlocked this camera, let's see what's on it.
Every little girl goes through that ugly stage.
Ugly, yes. This is
Who do you think you are, filling me with steroids? I don't need drugs to be the best. What are you talking about? Drugs? I've heard the rumors. People think I'm doping up in order to win. Oscar, calm down. You're not making any sense. I'll show you my sense.
Enough.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Fat water rat. 50 bullets in it.
Ouch.
I'll stop it. Could I have a copy of that?
All right, I was bad. I can
So that's where Mr. Alboran got his black eye. It seems our victim had anger management issues.
Well, Big Daddy didn't care. He
But given what he said, Oscar didn't seem to know he was a somber enhanced athlete.
You know, there's no...
The best place to get answers from is his coach. It's time to pay Mr. Alboran another visit.
It happens to me. I can't wait to tell Mom. Listen, Blanche, I think you have to go to the funeral.
About his fight with the victim?
Be there for him now. Don't let this argument with Virginia...
Mr. Alboran, we found a video of Oscar giving you that shiner. You didn't tell us you two had a fight. So you found out about that. Oscar was blind with rage. It's a good thing I had my lucky rabbit's foot. Who knows what else he could have done to me. He probably wouldn't have been so violent if Sombra weren't doping him up. For the last time, I don't know anything about Sombra. My job was to coach Oscar, make him the best athlete he could be. I didn't need dope to make that happen. And he attacked me. I was just defending myself. He's fortunate I didn't use any capoeira move or anything that might have ended badly for him. You mean like Mr. Rojas could have ended up dead? Oh wait, he did. Mr. Alboran, Marshall Matthew's not buying it. And if the evidence reveals you killed Oscar, no rabbit's foot in the world will keep you out of jail.
We're making a bundle. Boy, I wish we had thought of putting it out in the toilet.
Trash bag?
Hello? It was Dorothy Hidley. Rose, you answer. I'm not going to answer. I'm going to have to lie for you. It's your daughter.
A bottle.
We're not that close.
The search through the trash proved productive. That bottle looks like some kind of medicine, but it's a strange color.
You better answer that.
Ugh,
She's going to get mad.
and it smells horrible. What is this putrid stuff? Maybe Lars can tell us.
Hello?
12 hours also.
No, it didn't ring here. Why?
Gold medal now.
No, I think it's fine. Sophia? Church. She's in church. I said she's in church. No, things couldn't be better here. How's it going there? Oh, that's good. Then I'll see
7.
you. Give my...
Matthew, you collected a sample of this white powder from the victim's medal. Let's run it under the microscope.
Goes against my nature. I guess that's because growing up in St. Olaf, one day every year they'd gather all the children who lied in the town square, and the mayor would point at them.
Okay, I see all 3. Or the first one anyway.
You got any glue?
Regis, what are we going to tell her? The truth. Good. I just need a few minutes to come up with it. It's obvious when a man wants a woman.
Frasier.
Chalk.
Back episode tonight at 9.
Matthew, that white powder you got from the victim's medal was chalk? How did it get there? Excellent observation. Some athletes use chalk to have a firmer grip during their competitions, but that wouldn't be the case for Oscar since he's a runner. But we know one such athlete who would, our Russian shot putter, Miss Chizova. Let's go question her.
Help provide 15 million vaccines through the UN Foundation. It's that easy to make a difference. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Crab Fest is on at Red Lobster, so come dive into dishes like the new
That's the victim's medal?
crab dinner with sweet crab from the icy waters of Alaska.
Miss Chizova, what was your chalk doing all over Oscar's gold medal? You want to know about the medal? I stole it. Oscar didn't deserve it. He's not gold medal material. He's a cheater. Cheater? You mean like drugs? No, I mean a cheater of the heart. Oscar slept with a synchronized swimmer. A synchronized swimmer. Why would he do that? Shot putters deserve love too. I was so depressed I lost my competition. I lost the gold, and I even wore my lucky underwear. Without the gold, I'm nothing. I'm just a woman who's good at throwing heavy objects and doing capoeira. You're also a woman who steals other people's medals. Oscar made me lose my gold. I took his to replace it. I wouldn't have his love, but I'd have the gold. You can chalk it up to heartbreak, Miss Chizova, but if you murdered Oscar Rojas to get revenge, you'll be throwing heavy objects in jail.
Milk, cream, pure cane sugar, and natural.
This one I will let run its course. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the bottle. Let's see what Lars has to say. Hey Matthew, I'm fresh out of knock-knock jokes. Well, what Matthew found in the stadium trash is no joke. That medicine bottle looks pretty lethal. Smells like it too. That's because it is. This bottle contains the exact same substance your killer injected into the victim, which means this is the vial your killer used. Knowing the killer handled this bottle, I decided to analyze it for any traces of their presence, and I got a hit. On the lid, I found a compound residue consisting of sugar, lime, and cachaça, the ingredients for caipirinha, Brazil's national cocktail. So our killer drinks caipirinha. Matthew, our killer will have a real reason to drink once we convict him of murder.
You can do the most silly, crazy, weird stuff that traditionally in TV they've stayed away from, and now you're seeing late night talk.
Matthew, now that we're back at headquarters, let's recess and review our case notes. We know Oscar was a Sombra-enhanced athlete from Uruguay, but was that why he was killed? And it's strange that Oscar didn't seem to know he was receiving Sombra enhancements. How's that possible? Regarding our suspects, there's Mr. Caetano, Oscar's main competitor. He lost the gold medal to Oscar. That's a heavy weight to bear, but heavy enough to justify murder? And again, there's Mr. Albaran, who hid the fact that he and Oscar had a fight before Oscar was murdered. He should know that's the worst kind of unsportsmanlike conduct. Matthew, we have a situation. What is it, Ingrid? Uruguay is being kicked out of the Olympics. Uh-oh.
Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
We'll have to find out why in Chapter 3. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start Chapter 3 of Cheaters Never Win.
Coincidence. Every set of initials belongs to competition work. Makes it fall on your job.
Matthew, we came to Brazil following suspicions that the Uruguayan athletes might be up to foul play as they participate in the Olympics for the first time. We know Oscar was a Sombra-enhanced athlete from Uruguay, but was that why he was killed? And it's strange that Oscar didn't seem to know he was receiving Sombra enhancements. How's that possible? Matthew, we have a situation. What is it, Ingrid? Uruguay is being kicked out of the Olympics. Kicked out? What do you mean? Kicked out? What do you mean? Your suspect, Edson Caetano, is holding a press conference at a local bar demanding the expulsion of the Uruguayan team on doping charges. Matthew, we can't let this happen. If they expel Uruguay, we'll lose one of our suspects and may never find Oscar's killer. Let's go talk some sense into Edson.
Conceiving a needle to the uterus could jeopardize her pregnancy.
The people have the right to gather evidence, but under the circumstances,
Mr. Caetano, why the push to get Uruguay expelled from the games? Justice must be done, Marshal Matthew. The Uruguayan team must go. There's no tolerance for doping in the Olympics. Those are serious accusations, and ones that could hinder our murder investigation. You should reconsider your demand. And let those cheaters stay? Nunca. When I discovered the truth, I gave Oscar a chance to make things right. Either forfeit his remaining races or I'd tell the authorities. but he just laughed. That must have made you even angrier. More cause for murder. It's not easy to lose, but to lose to a fraud? No way. Oscar spent his evenings with that shot putter drinking caipiranhas without a care in the world. I'm Brazilian, you amo caipirinhas. But this is the Olympics, not a party. Between my intensive capoeira sessions and hours of running a day, I trained hard to be here, and for someone to steal that from me by doping is unforgivable. Mr. Caetano, like it or not, the Lusaguayan team is staying in Rio until we're done with this investigation, and you better watch your step. Matthew, while we may have temporarily put out Edson's fire, it's bound to flare up again. We have to get to the bottom of this investigation ASAP. Since we're here at the favela bar already, let's have another look around. Okay, let's see here.
Did you already start it?
Wow, did she just...
Briefcase. Spray can. Broken statue. There we are, avocado. A little rusty, but learning the ropes. Matthew, that briefcase you picked up has the Olympic logo on it. I agree, there might be stuff about our victim inside. I think it warrants a search. You want to reassemble that broken statue? There's a method to your madness. I'll get the glue. Bottle. Matthew, what is that orange liquid you found in the Olympic authorities' briefcase? You think that label can tell us more? I'll get your dusting kit. It's actually a bottle, Michelle. Institute of Biochemistry. Matthew, the label on that specimen cup inside the briefcase reads Institute of Biochemistry, IOA, specimen sample number 8012. IOA, that stands for International Olympic Advisors. It says here they're the governing body all over all Olympic athletes. The Institute of Biochemistry must be a laboratory associated with the IOA. Matthew, I don't know what this liquid is, but it's important if the Olympic advisors wanted it. Let's send it to Lars. Okay, 9 hours. statue looks like it's puking a little bit. There's something written on the base of that statue. Templo Cabocla Janena. Wait, Janena? We know that name. Oi, Marshal Matthew, you found my statue? You mustn't touch it. Miss Janena, we should have known. We're going to need to talk. Muito obrigada, Marshal Matthew, for finding my statue. It's very important to me. That animal, Oscar, smashed it to pieces. Oscar broke this? What exactly is this statue? This is my sacred Zepilintra statue. He's the patron spirit of barooms and gamblers. I place my bets and win. Bets? I thought you were a priestess, not a bookie. I am, but a woman has to make a living, and it's the Olympics. With my statue, I'm lucky. But ever since Oscar broke it, I haven't won a single time. Oscar didn't like the prediction I made for him, the one where I foresaw his death. He should have known better than to taunt me or the entities like that. Here's a prediction for you. If Marshal Matthew discovers you killed Oscar Rojas, you'll be calling in your bets from jail. I'll let the strange sample run its course. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the strange sample. Matthew, I've had a look at the liquid sample. Wait, before you start, I've got a joke. What do the chemists say to solids, liquids, and gases? Does it even matter? Get it? Because all these are matter? Huh, Matthew, I feel like I'm part of the team now. Not bad. I guess that means you want to know about the liquid you found in the IOA briefcase. Well, that orange liquid is urine. More importantly, it's Oscar's urine. Ugh! That was Oscar's urine, but it was so orange. That's what urine can look like when it's loaded with steroids and a variety of experimental chemicals. Stuff I've only seen when dealing with Sombra. I was curious why your victim's urine sample was in the briefcase, so I asked Elliot to track the specimen number on the label. Turns out the specimen had been signed over to one Hector Montoya. So that was Hector's briefcase. Why would he want Oscar's urine sample? Matthew, we need to interrogate Mr. Montoya.
He told me his wife died years ago. Oh, he did, didn't he?
Seems I have some energy. Okay.
This is who you're cheating with now? A woman in her 60s?
Let's see. Take a look at my cards real quick just before we go on. And let's talk to Hector about Oscar's urine sample. About his piss sample. Mr. Montoya, Marshal Matthew found your briefcase. Is that a hobby of yours, collecting dead athletes' urine samples? What an embarrassing question to be asked by a beautiful woman. As you know, Oscar's steroid use was questioned. As Goodwill Ambassador, I was asked to oversee the testing. I was on my way to deliver the specimen when I ran into Coach Albaran. We had some Kai piranhas and I lost track of time. So you stopped for happy hour instead of delivering a time-sensitive urine sample to the authorities? Settling doping issues isn't my main priority. I'm here to ensure the Olympic spirit is maintained, not point fingers and call names. But, if you ask me, there was more than just talent behind Oscar's success. Well, if Marshal Matthew finds out you killed Oscar Rojas, we'll be pointing the fingers at you for murder. Matthew, we're close to crossing the finish line. A little more evidence and we'll bring this case to prosecution. Since you're the pro, what should we do next? You're right, tonight's parade will start soon. With thousands of people partying in the streets, our crime scene will be destroyed. We've got to get back to Copacabana Beach before that parade starts. Okay, let's see here.
You shouldn't. You're a terrific lady.
Water bottle. High heel. Voila. Pile of trash.
Rose, listen. I'm not going to the meeting tonight.
How come?
I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with the people. I'm not comfortable with the whole thing.
But you need the real support, Dorothy. I mean, it's not a good idea to go alone. Did I ever tell you about my cousin Victor Frick? He tried to go alone in a three-legged race.
It's a good thing we got here before the festivities began, Matthew. What did you find? That water bottle stinks of caipirinha. You're right. This water bottle is a souvenir from the Olympic Stadium. It must have been dropped by here by someone who frequents that place and loves caipirinhas. And that could be our killer. We need to get a sample of saliva. Do you really like looking through trash, Matthew? The devil's in the details. Let's search through it.
Besides, I'd rather be part of this group than that one.
I hate to say this, but Rose, you're special.
Thank you, Dorothy. You can never get them to say that to me in those meetings.
Is everything all right?
Steven's back with his old girlfriend. Are you okay? I guess I learned a little bit about missed opportunities and sometimes you have to take chances.
There we are. 8 energy. Matthew, let's get that saliva sample from the killer's bottle over to Lars ASAP. 15 hours. Piece of paper. Matthew, inside the pile of trash you found a smelly piece of paper with a safety pin in it? Good observation. This paper smells exactly like the drug used to kill Oscar. I agree. Let's get this paper to Lars post haste. Nine hours. I'll get the results tomorrow, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the saliva. Matthew, I've been working on a new song lately. Want to hear it? I'd say no, but I know you're going to sing it anyway. Love is painful, but that's okay. I'll keep loving anyway, 'cause love is my drug. That was good. We're in a hurry, Lars. What do you have on the saliva sample Matthew pulled from the killer's water bottle? As you know, there was caipirinha in the bottle, a drink your killer is fond of. Unfortunately, alcohol compromises DNA extraction, making it difficult to get anything of use. So, were you able to get anything from that sample? I did. With the sample, I was able to ascertain that the gender of your killer is male. Matthew, we're hunting down a murdering man about town. Matthew, I've got information that can put this investigation on the inside track. Your hunch was right. The dark stains and horrible smell on the paper you found on the crime scene come from the same drug used to kill your victim. So this paper must be from our killer. But how did the drug get on this piece of paper? To answer that, I'll first explain this isn't just a piece of paper. It's actually a torn piece of an athletic bib, the numbers athletes wear while competing. What clued me in was the safety pin. The bib must have been on the killer when they prepared the drug, thus getting some on themselves. I believe the victim must have ripped off this piece of bib from the killer during the attack, which means your killer wears an Olympic bib. Matthew, we're looking for an Olympic bib-wearing athlete who moonlights as a murderer. Matthew, the evidence is stacked against Oscar's killer. It's time to make an arrest. It's not Olga Chizova. It's Edson Caetano. Mr. Edson Caetano, you're under arrest for the murder of Oscar Rojas. It's a sad day for the Olympics when murder is necessary to win the gold. Marshal Matthew, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kill Oscar. The proof speaks for itself. We found a piece of your Olympic bib at the crime scene. This is the Olympics. There are many athletes here. That could belong to anyone. True, but would their bibs be covered in the same drug concoction you used to kill Oscar? We found your vial of ayahuasca. Drugs are bad. I would never use drugs to hurt anyone, and using ayahuasca incorrectly brings bad luck. And we know how important luck is to you. We found your broken talisman near Oscar's dead body. I cannot lie anymore. I killed him, but it was an accident. An accident? How does one accidentally shove a syringe in someone's neck? Oscar was going to take the gold in all of our competitions. He was unbeatable, but he was cheating. I just wanted him out of the way long enough for me to win, at least once. Killing him to win the gold isn't really in line with the Olympic spirit. It wasn't like that. I was at the favela bar when some men approached me. They said they knew Oscar was cheating and wanted to help. The men said if I injected a small dose of ayahuasca into Oscar, he'd be too high to compete. I'd have a chance at winning. But when I injected the ayahuasca, I realized something was wrong. Oscar wasn't moving. He was dead. So you injected Oscar with a potent hallucinogenic that some men gave you? Who are these men? I don't know. I was under pressure. I just took what they gave me. I understand the Olympics put a lot of pressure on an athlete, but that doesn't excuse murder. Edson Caetano, you're under arrest for killing your competitor, Oscar Rojas. Mr. Caetano, you're charged with the murder of Olympic gold medalist Oscar Rojas. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor, but it was an accident. I didn't want Oscar dead. I trained so hard, months without seeing my family. Blisters, chafing, sprains, all that to lose to a cheater on steroids. It wasn't fair. Your dedication to sports is commendable, and I do find doping a stain on the honor of true sportsmanship. However, I cannot condone murder. Mr. Caetano, this court sentenced you to 5 years imprisonment for the involuntary manslaughter of Oscar Rojas. Case closed. My career is over. I failed my country and my family. Matthew, it's true what they say about the pressure of competition. It's enough to drive even the most dedicated athlete to murder. I wonder, though, who gave Edson the drug? Who are those mysterious men whispering promises of glory and gold in Edson's ear? My lawyer intuition is telling me Sombra's somehow involved in all of this. Now I just need to find out how. Matthew, something smells rotten in the state of Rio, and it's up to us to find just where that stench comes from.
Increased risk of infections and lowered ability
disease. Tell your doctor if symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
See me.
On my way.
And let's take a look at the other ones.
For a different kind of medicine.
Mai Janena de Imanja, clear from the start. Hector Montoya, also clear from the start. Yamil Albaran, no bib. Olga Chizova, not a male. I'll see you guys for Birth of Evil 5-6. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start Birth of Evil 5-6. Matthew, you may have arrested the murderer of Luzaguay's star athlete, but it hasn't dispelled tensions at the Olympic Games. Oscar's incredible athleticism came from somber enhancements, but to the rest of the world it looked like plain doping, and that doesn't help. With murder and doping, you've got the recipe for a diplomatic disaster between Luzaguay and Brazil, and the other countries aren't happy either. Worst of all, we don't know the entire story behind this murder. Edson said some men gave him the drugs to inject Oscar with, but who were they? This investigation isn't over until we find out who's behind it all. Matthew, I'd love to help you get to the bottom of this. You're welcome to accompany Matthew, and I questioned Edson. Hopefully he can give us something we can use.
In 5 days, it removes more fat, starts whitening immediately, and freshens breath with the syrup.
Let's see what he has to say now about the mysterious men. Edson, we need to know who gave you the drugs you used to murder Oscar Rojas. I already told you, Marshal Matthew. Who now say? They never say their names. When the men approached me at the favela bar, they just said they were from a wellness company. Did they say which one? Now, I should have asked, but I wasn't thinking straight. I was so desperate to win. I just remember what they gave me. Some herbs, the syringe, and the vial. I wish I'd never said yes. They said they'd make my life easier, but they destroyed it. Matthew, maybe there's still some evidence at the favela bar. We need to go there ASAP. Marshal Matthew, before you go, please take this money. It's all my earnings. At least I can do this to help. 20,000. Thank you very much.
So this kid was dead on the carousel for at least an hour before the operation.
They didn't check after each ride. The kid just snuck on.
Any idea where he
The school saying he has checked every elementary south of
Oh, I think I see the clue.
Well, there's lots of after-school activities here. Plenty of cameras already.
Elliot's going through the video now.
We know for missing persons.
There's nothing fitting to Daniel's description. It's still early, right? So maybe not even know that he's gone. I need to be. I've got to find the missing link.
Faded flyer.
All right, go. We'll get this done.
Perfect. Matthew, that box looks like junk, but if you think it's important, let's unlock it. That document you found looks weathered, and there's some writing in Spanish. Carmen, can you translate it? Sure. Some of the writing is faded, but I can make out. The revolution is waiting for us. Out with the politicians and tyrants. People united for a better future. Must be an old revolutionary flyer. A good dusting will tell us more. Matthew, once you're done helping Carmen research the flyer, you can meet me to unlock this box.
Pressure collapsed both lungs.
So whoever hit Ethan broke his rib and caused his death. It's a homicide.
Not necessarily. I found severe contusions and crush injuries to the muscles and connective tissues of his hips and buttocks. About a week old.
What do you tell him?
Ethan's death could have been caused by an accident. Until you find out, I have to rule it inconclusive.
Okay. Matthew, the stamp on the bottom of the flyer looks like a flag, and there's a date above it, Marzo 1956. That means March, so this dates back almost 60 years. There are also the words strength, contribution, distinction written on the flyer. That sounds familiar, doesn't it, Matthew? Weren't those the same words written on Coach Albaran's stopwatch? Is this the flyer from Is this flyer from Luzagwe? Let's cross-reference that flag in our database to see if we get a hit.
If he was sick, why did you drop him off in Chelsea? I stopped home for lunch. Ethan said he was feeling better. Has to go to a birthday party. Doesn't hold up. Dropped him off early. He says a broken rib punctured his lung.
One more. There we are. Still got the 9. Flag. Matthew's stamp on the flyer is an old version of the Colombian flag. So this flyer isn't from Luzagwe, it's from Colombia. But the words on it sound like Sombra propaganda. And we know Sombra dates back to roughly 60 years ago, like this flyer. So Sombra was operating in Colombia all the way back then? You're right. If this flyer Sombra is the earliest known record of their activity, can this mean it all started in Colombia? Matthew, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's one Mr. Montoya who'd like to see you. He says it's urgent. Hector wants to see us? This isn't the best time, but let's go see what he wants.
Yes, Uncle Joe.
Can you tell us where Joe Gilbert is?
It'll be better than that. I can show you where it is.
You got all your cabs on GPS?
Marshal Matthew, pardon my intrusion, but I'd like to report a theft. Someone stole my historical document from Colombia. You mean this document? We found it at the Favela bar. This is yours? Thank you, Marshal Matthew. I'm so relieved you have it. It's part of my treasured collection. I collect antique memorabilia from South America. I'm especially fond of this piece. It's from a little-known period of Colombian history. What is this document? It's an assembly announcement put out by a local group of intellectuals in the late 50s who wanted to start a revolution. They've either disbanded or gone underground since. So this underground organization started in Colombia. Where exactly is this flyer from? I found it rummaging through an antique shop in a little town called Campanilla, Colombia. Marshal Matthew, before we part ways, allow me to offer you this Olympic Games t-shirt. It's the least I can do to thank you for finding my flyer. Okay, lost box. Okay. 7. 830. Got it. Matthew, there's a bag of sticks and leaves in that box. Why would anyone lock that up? Good eye. There is a sticker with Edson's name on it. Maybe these are the herbs he was given by the mysterious men. Matthew, let's send these herbs to the lab. Okay, 9 hours. I'll let that run its course. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the bag of sticks. Matthew, I didn't know you were interested in Vision Quest. Vision Quest? The lab sample you sent me, it's a bag of ayahuasca. That stuff makes you trip. Ayahuasca, like the drug that killed Oscar, but this isn't liquid. These are the vines and leaves that are used to make the liquid version. Only this sample doesn't have the lethal element, brugmansia, just pure ayahuasca. So whoever gave Edson the stuff gave him both versions of the drug. Why? No idea, but I can tell you Edson wasn't the only one who had their hands on this bag. Besides Edson's prints, there was a second set of prints all over the bag. Elliot checked them out. They belong to May Janina. Matthew, if Janina had contact with the men who approached Edson, we need to question her.
I am too. I just like this atmosphere. So, what did you
about the ayahuasca bag. Miss Janena, what were you doing with a bag of ayahuasca addressed to Edson? Marshal Matthew, I'm glad you found that. I put the herbs in that box, but I had to. Ayahuasca is a healing plant capable of miracles, but in the wrong hands it can have lethal consequences. I saw some men gave it to Edson, but he left it lying around. I locked it up for safekeeping. Do you know who were the men who gave this to Edson? Now, but I've seen the same men approach other athletes at the stadium. Matthew, the stadium is where the men went. We have to go there. Marshal Matthew, before you continue, allow me to offer you a blessing and some food to replenish your energy. Okay, let's see here.
Try laxatives? I know. Believe me, it's like I've tried everything.
My chronic constipation keeps coming back. I know that. Something I don't.
There we are. Broken keychain. Matthew, if you think this broken keychain could be a clue, let's put it back together. Matthew, there's something written on that keychain. Medicinal biotech. This must be a promotional trinket. You're right. Edson said the men he spoke with were from some wellness company. Medical biotech could very well be it. Matthew, let's see if Ellie can do more digging on this keychain.
And also deliciously with probiotic gummies and concentrate mix.
9 hours also. I'll get the results tomorrow, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the keychain right now. Matthew, do you remember OM Medilab, the pharmaceutical company that was a front for Sombra? We encountered them in India. OM Medilab? Why are you bringing them up now? Because OM Medilab is the company I traced this keychain to. What? I heard you closed them down in Tibet. I cut off their funding, but I couldn't shut the company down. I'm a genius, not a miracle worker. I traced the name on the keychain, Medicinal Biotech, to the Amazon where they had their laboratory. Turns out once we cut off OM's funds, they opened this new lab. Let me get this straight. The men who approached Edson actually work for OM Medilab? If so, it was Sombra who tricked Edson into committing the murder. But Oscar was Luzaguayan and part of Sombra's athlete enhancement project. Why would Sombra kill one of their own? Matthew, whatever the answer is, Sombra's up to a dangerous game we can't afford to lose. Matthew, is it true? Is OM Medilab still around? Apparently, they sent their agents to approach Edson and trick him into killing Oscar, but it's strange they'd want their Sombra-enhanced athlete dead. You're right, Matthew. We've heard OM Medilab's men approach several different athletes. Did they try to con them into committing murders too? I hope not. The situation's already tense enough at the Olympics as it is. Yes, it is. Sombra's up to something big here. Speaking of Sombra, we may have found the place where it all started. We know Sombra began as an intellectuals club that seems to have started in the small town of Campanilla, Colombia. If we go there, we... Matthew, hate to bother you, but have you seen my coffee mug? You mean this one, bro? There wasn't any coffee left, so I drank yours. And Jack gave me some as well. But you should know, this coffee's bad. That's because it wasn't coffee. Then what was it? That's ayahuasca, the hallucinogenic drug. It's from the bag of vines and sticks you brought me earlier. It's what? Matthew, I feel... Bro, is that you? Bro, like you're like huge. No, not the closet again. Isabel, I won't go into the closet. Bro, your big hairy bro arms make me feel safe and warm, like a teacup pig in a teacup blanket. Isabel, you're mean. I hate you. Go away. Bro, I love you, man. Bro. Oh, shoot. Did I hear correctly? Did two of my agents just spend the afternoon getting high? It's my fault. I shouldn't have left that ayahuasca lying around. You think so? Well, I had a great time. Bro, you are so huge and cozy, like a big balloon with arms. I could have done without rehashing my childhood traumas. Why did I have to remember my nanny? Sorry, guys. I'll be more careful next time. Matthew, now that you're done babysitting our agents who decided to trip the light fantastic, we've got work to do. We discovered the agents behind the murder of the Luzaguayan athlete Sombra, though their still active subsidiary, OM Medilab. Through their still active subsidiary. It seems Sombra's motive for wanting this murder was to create unrest and chaos at the Olympics. Sombra's spinning an evil plan, and it needs to be stopped. Thanks to your investigation, Matthew, we believe Sombra started in the small town of Campanilla, Colombia. If it's true, we can get to the root of Sombra and stop them once and for all. Matthew, it's time to strike Sombra on their home turf. We're going to Colombia. Moment, folks. That's gonna do. September 8th. Okay. But first, I'll look at my cards and what I got in my messages folder. Four sticker packs. Sure wish they'd include the burglars with it. That seems even better. 4 new ones. Five new ones. Great. And a rare one. And this one I already had. Three new ones. Getting pretty close to finishing one page. Alright, that will do, and I'll see you guys again for when Case 48 comes out. This is the final one in South America, so I'll see you guys for September 8th.